You crazy girl? Goodness. What is going on? What are you looking at? What's going on? Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my channel. In this video today, I'm going to show you all of my tanks. I've got some African cichlid aquariums and I have a rack in my garage. I haven't done a video on my aquariums, like all of them, so this is going to be the video for that. If you need to catch up with where I'm at with them, or if you're new to this channel, this video will likely be really helpful for you because I'm going to show you what has worked well and some of my good aquariums and then some of the things that have not gone so well. So if you want to see that, stick around, and without further ado, let's jump into the video. These guys here, these are Lake Malawi African cichlids, and there's 3 different types I've got. This is an ambuna, this is a hap, and this here is a peacock cichlid. These are also African cichlids, but these are our Lake Tanganyika African cichlids, so lake across from them. And we've got some Tropheus in here, some Leilupi, a few different types of more predatory ones. These are Tenuatus in here. I got this tank about 3 years ago. So I ordered it 2021, waited like half a year for it to arrive. I got it about June, July 2021. So we're actually even looking a little bit over 3 years ago now. The reason that this tank has been successful and it's been nice from the start and relatively easy to look after is because it was not my first aquarium that I owned, and I had a long history of fine-tuning what I liked over the decade of my aquariums before I got this one. So my whole life I've kept fish tanks. I've just always been drawn to animals, to aquatic life. Even when I was a teenager, I had a 6-foot fish tank in my bedroom. And at that age, when I was like 15, 16, I kind of worked out that big tanks were more to my liking, and same with big fish. I find with fish keeping, and this is going to be a really big theme of the video and what I touch on today, is it's like anything, it's really important that you make sure that you match your needs with it. And so by that I mean, we only have a certain capacity for how much we can do that. It's like a car, you fill it up with petrol. Once that petrol is gone, you have to fill it up again. There's just no choice. You know, we have to sleep every night and so on. And every day I'm sure there's things that you're doing that you have to push yourself to do. One of the things with fish tanks, of course, that can be a turn-off for people is the maintenance. So you have to keep on top of them, you have to do your water changes, and you have to clean your filters to ensure that your fish are staying healthy. The thing that really gets to me though is when I have to do the same thing again and again. And so that's why with nano tanks, I will talk about this with my rack system. A big thing that I struggled with was that there's 4 tanks on there, and for me, I just don't want to be going in there and manually water changing everything. Some people, they love that because it's just part of what they enjoy. It's like some people like cleaning cars, some people don't. You know, we have our preferences. So what I've set up for this is I just put a pump in and I drain all of the water. I have a siphon that's already connected to my sink so that I just siphon the water and the poo out. I've got an irrigation system I set up to water my garden automatically while I'm draining it. Everything is just set up so it is making it as easy for me as possible, and I'm not putting myself through unnecessary strain to clean this tank. This rack that you're about to see, I was setting up about 4 or 5 months ago. Then I went to America a couple of times and this kind of fell to the wayside. This is my learning curve area. So as you can see, the filters are not on right now. There are no fish in here. There were mollies and there were fry. Unfortunately, what happened was they kind of died. So they were doing really, really well for a long time. And, you know, it was a little bit iffy because I did go away when they were growing up in there. It wasn't until I got back that something happened. There was just some type of swing in this tank. I'm not sure. I actually didn't end up properly working out what it was. All I did was I just sprang into action. 4, I think, were already dead. I quickly just grabbed them out and I put them in the sump in the other tank because I was like, they're gonna die if they stay in here. It's not ideal to not acclimatize a fish, but I just had to do it. And it actually worked out well because I've got definitely one fry in there that is actually growing and getting bigger. I think for this tank down here, the Florida one, that the mollies got aggressive with each other. They did breed at one point, but then they got aggressive. They started killing each other off one by one. And then I noticed that for both of these tanks, I had an issue after doing a water change, which was kind of the catalyst that ended up killing the rest of the mollies and what happened to me before my fry died. So again, it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, in that when you have smaller bodies of water, if there is anything like a change in temperature that is more than 4 or 5 degrees, or if you've got something in your tap water, anything like that, chlorine even for weaker species, if it's not already actually dechlorinized, then there's more that can go wrong. So I know and knew that something needed to change with this system because it was not working. That's why these are just like ancient ruins now and look so terrible, because there is no life in these, so I've just let it be until now. But now I have had the time to be able to start to fix this. I needed to figure out a way for these tanks to make water changes easier, so I'm not having to go and manually do all of them, and to also have water that I can add into them that is not straight from the tap, so I can keep some more sensitive fish in there. Because I don't want to just give up on this and up on nano tanks. I want to try work out a solution so I can enjoy some smaller species too. The other problem too is not just the temperature of the water that's getting added into the tank, it's also going to be the ambient temperature of the room. This garage heats up so much in summer. It would probably get to like 40 degrees in here, if not more. And with little tanks in here, that's going to be a problem. You can get chillers, which is like a little refrigerator for your tank, but they are expensive to buy, like $1,000, and they're expensive to run. So what I have gone and done, I did this on Wednesday a couple days ago. It is Wednesday and I am on my laptop having a look for some garage insulation. On here, I had a look at a bunch of different places, and this reflector stuff looks good. I was thinking of ordering some polystyrene boards, but this seems to have really good reviews. I want to go get it. I don't want to have to wait to get it, but every place you have to order it online. So what I did was I looked and I found one place in Beanley that may have it. So let's give him a call. I'm just looking for the GI Building Sciences reflector garage door insulation. Oh, perfect. Would I be able to just come and grab that today? Just one of them?
Certainly can. Yeah,
awesome.
Not a problem whatsoever. Just drive through the trade drive-through. Speak to the guys on the floor and they'll grab one down for you.
Awesome, thank you so much.
No worries.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Sweet, they got it in stock. Yes. All right, let me just call my dad back. So came like that, and I went ahead and measured each of my panels in the garage. Luckily the height of it was actually pretty much correct. I just had to cut the length to be correct for each panel, and it was actually super easy. I did have them just sitting in there without them being taped on, and it actually cooled it down so much. But what I've got to do today is I've got to tape these on and put them on there so that if I lift the door when I'm wanting to do water changes and stuff, it's not going to have them all fall off everywhere. Okay, so I lied. I ended up just putting them back on and just sitting them there. I didn't have time to tape them today, so I will do that later on in the week when I have more time. My first step for making water changes easier was getting some pumps from Bunnings. I got these little AquaPro AP 550s from Bunnings, and I also got some 13mm 5 meter long clear vinyl tubing as well. Then what I decided to do, because the gaps in the pump are quite big, I put a little bit of sponge filter over the top of each of them, just in case I have any fry or shrimp that I want to make sure don't get sucked in there. On my way back from Bunnings, I found a possum that had been hit by a car. Sadly, it had passed away, but I had heard online that it was a good idea to check the pouch of any type of marsupial that has been hit by a car. And I couldn't believe it. I checked the pouch and there was a tiny little baby that was fully alive in there. I read online that you're not meant to take them out of the pouch, especially if they're still latched on to the mum's nipple. So I took the whole body to the RSPCA Animal Hospital at Wacol, where they put it into an incubator and will be looking for someone to rehabilitate it. I don't have any updates yet, but I'll let you know if I do hear anything. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys, just in case you see any adult animal that's passed away. It's always good just to check to see if there's any babies around. All right, and it dries super, super quickly. So that is nice and handy. All right, first one done. Let's do the other two that we've got left. You will probably void your warranty on your pump doing this, by the way. So I just wanted to mention that. For this top tank here, we're just gonna slip it in behind as so, and put our pump in here. And then what we can do is later on, we can cover it and we can hide it to make it look a little bit prettier, but this will just do for now. We have our plug here, especially for doing this. So I've got these all set up. We've already got one. I am color coding this. So we've got white on here already. We'll add the colors in a little bit. So actually let's color code now. So that's our white tank down there. And this tank can be what color? So we got our 4 colors here. This tank I think can be green because it is very green, which we will pop onto our pump. So we will not forget which one it belongs to, just in case. And we'll add these to our filters and our heaters later on, but that will do for now. And then we also have in here these tapes. We're gonna add a little thing of green tape so that we don't get them mixed up. We've got all of our pumps in and we have them connected here. And then I've just opened up that garage a little bit, not all the way so that these don't fall off, but they are in the garden there. So let's just test it. We only need to do green, red, and blue because the white tank was already done yesterday. So let's just turn them on, make sure they're working. Let's do green first. All right, yep, I saw the water go. That's wanting to lift out a little bit. Can probably zippy tie this to here if needed, if that's going to be an issue. It's worth mentioning the pumps come with these little suction cups that you can put on the bottom. I just found that it wasn't worthwhile actually having it stuck to the bottom because once you turn your pump off, if it's still under the water, it can sometimes still have a siphon, and so it will just keep draining the tank. So it actually works better to not have these on. All right, let's just do our other ones. Red. That's that one here. Yep, that one is working also. All right, and then lastly, let's do our blue, which also is working. So let's just go check on them outside. All right. Now, I may just have to make sure that it's not putting too much water into that garden and figure that out. The reason that I'm not putting it into the actual drain out there is just because that drain connects to waterways, unlike the sinks and the toilets and stuff, so best to just put it into the garden. But we have a little bit of fine tuning to do. However, we know that our pumps are working, so that is good. Okay, so tanks are now drained. Next week or the week after, whichever week I do an update on this, I will explain to you my system for putting the water in, but I really need more time right now because I want to do this properly. Just this once because this water is so old, I want to actually get all of the water out, so I'm going to use a siphon to do that and give these tanks a really thorough clean before I reset them all. So that's what I'll get busy doing this week, and I'll get filming that and properly show you how we're going to do the water in system as well. It's really simple. It's just irrigation stuff and one pump with a bucket. So I'll show you exactly how I've set that up. I'm going to get this insulation actually glued on, stuck on there, because at the moment I can't open my garage up all of the way. It's going to fall off, and it's kind of making it hard for me to properly check the system and go out there and, you know, empty the pipes and stuff when they've got water in them. Let me just take you outside to finish up. I want to quickly talk to you about the little pond out there as well, and then talk to you about some plans that I want you to have a think about as well and give me some ideas for. There are actually no fish in here, just a lot of hair algae, to the point that you cannot really even see the flow from the pump anymore. So there are no fish in here. All of my fish got eaten. I need to have a net if I'm going to have this out here, because I do have a tree next to me and there are birds that are often around. So we need to get a net for this to protect them, but this is where my idea is going to come in. So let's just move away from here because this isn't a nice sight right now anyway. And so to end the video here, this really comes full circle because this is the whole thing I was talking about from the start. So these two tanks are beautiful and they do not take much to maintain at all because I've got it set up. I know how to operate them. Now, these other things that I've tried, like I kind of knew that I didn't do well with nano tanks in the past, but I want to give it a go and a fair crack. And that's why I'm going to set up this water change system. And I'm really confident that I can get that to work and to look really nice and be easy enough to maintain. With the pond, I don't know. I don't know if I can do the same with that. And then at Atlas as well, I saw they had a really big outdoor pond that was on stilts and it looked really nice. I'm thinking if I'm going to do a pond, it needs to be bigger. I just don't think I can maintain a small one properly because it just evaporates really quickly. I just don't think, you know, I like having it out there, but again, it's just been really hard to maintain because it's kind of out of sight, out of mind as well. And also, I really liked that the one at Atlas had the acrylic in the front to me because I love the fish. It's so important to be able to see them properly. So let me know what you think of that. Even maybe getting a bigger tank to put in the garage if the insulation works well and everything. I don't know, drop your ideas down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed seeing this update, and this will be to be continued because obviously I have a lot of work to do. So if you enjoy seeing the video though, and you like me documenting this stuff, make sure you give the video a like. I really appreciate it, and all of your comments as well. I love reading them. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. You can hit the little bell notification, then it'll tell you when I upload new videos, and you'll get more of my content recommended. So thank you so much again for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.